Despite Donald Trump's deepest wishes and the best efforts of Eileen Cannon, the judge that he put into the judiciary, who has now been ruling on one of his cases, the classified documents case against Donald Trump is still around. Technically, bear in mind 2 weeks ago, Judge Cannon placed an indefinite delay on the case, giving Donald Trump basically the greatest thing that he could hope for. It's not going to simply go away, but it could just wait until he's president again. But regardless of that, we do have developments, okay? A new report showing that Donald Trump, after the big raid, the raid of Mar-a-Lago, he still had documents. And I know what you're thinking. Was there another place in the bathroom to hide them? No, it's in an even grosser place in the bathroom. It was in his bedroom, and we're gonna get to that in a second. But look, in terms of actually moving forward on the case, unfortunately, it is still indefinitely delayed. So that's the unfortunate side of this, but let's get to the fun. So court documents that were revealed this week show that former President Donald Trump's lawyers found additional classified documents in his bedroom some 4 months after the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago to retrieve documents, which teaches us a couple things. So one, apparently the raid was not as thorough as we were led to believe. Two, Donald Trump had them in his bedroom, which means even more likely to have found them, and yet they needed to be turned in by his lawyers. And three, it's another reason why he has trouble getting lawyers, because sometimes he makes them go into his bedroom and most of them leave the profession after that. Hey, I'm glad you're here. Listen, in order for the damage report to keep on going, we need viewers like you to become a member on YouTube. Can you click the join button on YouTube today? Thank you. This is important because the August 2022 search involved his lawyers giving a certified letter to authorities that there were no more documents on the property, even though the National Archives was still asking for specific materials to be returned. And we have all of this new information, this new reporting, based on a newly unsealed 2023 opinion from US District Judge Beryl Howell. Okay, and so look, he had more. I don't know. In terms of sheer volume, I don't know how much we should care, because there were already so many that I feel like if you were gonna care, you cared, and if you weren't, then you probably won't. But they were in his bedroom. Now, there's two possible explanations for that and why the FBI didn't find them. Either his bedroom is such a hoarder's mess that you can pore over it for hours and still miss documents, or they were moved to his bedroom after the raid. And his bed, not some random closet that he never goes into or whatever, not some dusty corner of the old Corvette garage or whatever. This is his bedroom where he occasionally goes, or maybe he's not allowed on threat of violence from Melania. I don't know, but they were there, and theoretically he should have seen them. What do you make of this, Sharon?
You mentioned the word hoarders. It's a show I've watched a great deal of. I don't believe he's a hoarder. Although I do think it's strange that, how many documents do you need? You had the love letter from Kim Jong-un. How many documents and mementos and whatever else you were planning to do with him do you need? I didn't even think he read that much, but apparently he's collecting these things. I tend to agree with you on this point too. Remember Vince Foster and how those documents suddenly appeared? One day they were on a table inside the White House, just sitting in plain sight, and whoa, how did we miss these? Well, I think that the documents were not in his bedroom, as you said. They were moved there. I don't know by whom, because I think Donald Trump has made it clear that no matter how many times you ask, no matter what's hanging over his head, he's still keeping the documents. So someone found them, perhaps. I don't want to cast aspersions on his legal team, but they said, we got to turn these over and we got to figure out a cover story here.
Yeah. Look, if it was his legal team that was like, no, we just, whatever it takes, we got to get those in, then once again, Donald Trump might have been sort of saved by his legal team. They're one of the few things that occasionally protects him from his own worst excesses. But it's just crazy that after all this, there were still documents to give. But again, we can't be too surprised, because we know following the raid, and up until today, he still maintains that they're his, that he can have them. I don't want you to come, dear viewer, I don't want you to come out of this story thinking, oh, it took this long to get all the documents, because honestly, why would we assume that now we have all the documents? Why at any point would we accept that they had all been recovered? And if there has now been a 7 or 8 step process of him holding on to them after giving some back, it really only makes sense that the ones that would remain after each phase, the ones he values the most. So if there are still some, then they're probably the juiciest. They're the best, they're the most valuable. Hopefully they've all been turned in, but I don't necessarily buy it. And I will say, one of the judges overseeing this most recent development that there were the extra documents says, no excuses provided as to how the former president could miss the classified marked documents found in his own bedroom at Mar-a-Lago. I've already offered up an excuse. It's entirely possible that he's not allowed in that bedroom. Honestly, if I were Trump, that's what I would probably say. It's less embarrassing than the alternative. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.